Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included in the Ultimate Base 3.0. In the previous episode we built this contraption which is finally taking care of our excess natural gas, including that properly into our power system. I noticed I totally forgot the wallpaper for this room. At some point I'm gonna redo that. But at the beginning of the episode I have to tackle something here on ONI, namely the temperatures here in the battery room are not very comfortable. So first things first, let's maybe fix the atmosuit docks by increasing the priorities. I also built a water cooler here so this room gets upgraded to a great hall, and then we're not going to be doing too bad with the morale. The stress also already went down a bit. Now this is very close to overheating. I think what I'm gonna do, I don't want to risk scalding the duplicant, so I'm just gonna remove this bottom part here for the time being, the entire row. Let's maybe not do the first one and the last one, so we still have 2 batteries remaining. But this is then gonna quickly exchange the heat, cool down the room on the top, and this is hopefully gonna allow us to actually build the room to cool things down a bit. So the first thing here with Hassan I'm gonna do is set up a little steam room. I want this to be 5 wide and maybe 1 more in order to fit a steam turbine on top. Let's see, that's 5 plus 2 for a liquid reservoir. We're gonna leave this open and already remove the ladders in order to access everything, and then we can get started with the build. As a matter of fact, I'm probably first gonna build the room and fill it out, then make the liquid lock so I can build it without having to pump out the gases. Oh, whoops, I made a little mistake here. This tile needs to remain here, all the others are okay, but I totally forgot that this is in space. In the future, I would like to reroute this pipe to go first up and then over. And I think we want to go over at this point. There we go, 1 step further. Now I just need to fill up these 2 rows, make this a liquid lock, and then we can build everything inside the room. Which is not going to be a lot, it's just going to be an aqua tuner. Et voila, now we just need a little bit of water. Let's bottle this up, fill up the liquid lock, and then we already have some water here to begin with. Now, from the looks of it, we have to fill up this tile here too for it to work. There's some chlorine stuck now. Actually, that might have worked out. Yeah, that's enough. Let's maybe add a stopper block here, and then we can enter the room. With that wonderful vacuum in place, let's get our thermo aqua tuner. I'm probably gonna have that right here at the beginning below the liquid reservoir. Maybe let's set that up too. You go right there. And we also need a sensor, liquid pipe thermosensor. You go right here together with some cabling. We then want to see a cooling loop going out of the liquid reservoir. We're gonna hop over here. Actually that might transfer too much heat. Instead we're gonna cut this pipe and hop over here. So this is gonna be the bridge, and right here we can just continue into the loop. Now what are we gonna cool down? Every floor probably. Maybe we should already think about rerouting this pipe. This in the future is just gonna go through here as an igneous rock pipe. And actually I don't need this bit at all anymore. Yeah, all of these pipes can go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use them to actually fill up the lower room by just adding a liquid vent right there. And then we can disassemble them. That's probably already gonna suffice in terms of water. Maybe I'm gonna add more. It's 87 kilograms. It's gonna be enough. But maybe I'm gonna add more. Okay, let's continue with our cooling loop, and I think what we can do and get away with is simply something like this. So we definitely want to cool the battery room and everything, but everything else shouldn't heat up too much, and we can just lead the pipes all the way around. That should be easy enough. Now before we enter the liquid reservoir, we first need to check the temperature, so this is where we need to go down. So maybe we'll have another bridge here, and instead of going over, we now can go down. We are going down all the way to the flooring here and have some radiant piping. Gold, is that the best? Let's do copper. It should be good enough to just cool down the steam turbine. You know, it would actually be easier to swap the aqua tuner. I think I'm gonna do that. If I can. Yeah, look at that. We can have it the other way. So there is my thermosensor, some cabling, and that is gonna make the piping much easier because now I can go down at this point into the center, then the aqua tuner, and out to the liquid reservoir. Or we can bypass it, go down below, at this bridge right there, and this is also going to move into the liquid reservoir. Yep, I kind of like that. I think this way we took care of everything. This should be cooling down the entirety of the base, no problemo. Let's give Hassan some time to actually accomplish this build. Couple of cycles later and we did it. I also already filled up the liquid reservoir. We had the pipe very nearby, that was easy. It turns out my oxygen design failed again, so I quickly had to make my way in there. I actually already had to do that in between the episodes in order to exchange and repair the hydrogen generator, but also some of that stuff went wrong. Now I disabled some of the blocks, so we are basically dependent on the outside power. So it is still producing oxygen until the 5 kilogram when the atmo sensor then disables everything. But now instead of actually separating the gases, I'm just using the pumps very inefficiently because I'm so frustrated with that system that I'm not going to deal with it anymore. Some of you said that when they build it in a different spot, they actually got it to work without the wallpaper. I tried that in my test world once and failed, but maybe I have to build it like on the other side of the planetoid. I'm not so sure, but this is the last time I went in there. Now it's just working inefficiently until I'm ready to rebuild it again. So yeah, at least right now it is working in terms of providing oxygen to us, and that is good enough. Let's get this cooling loop going, and I think all I have to do is hook up the pipe now. Let's freaking do this so the cooling loop gets started. We are starting at 24 degrees. What do we want to reach? I would say 23 or actually 25 is a nice temperature for a base. So if we are above 25, then I would like to cool things down. And now this is going through the batteries, which means I can go ahead and actually re-enable the batteries. And we should be seeing the effects of the cooling quite immediately. Like right here, it's at 60 degrees, 63 over here. Well, I guess with the granite pipes, it takes a little longer, but eventually it's going to be enough. No worries. It's not really worth it wasting the radiant pipes for this. The loop is going back into the aqua tuner, and because we are at 26 degrees at the moment, everything gets cooled down until the liquid reservoir is exactly at the temperature we set it to, which is 25 degrees. So there's already some water really close to the 25 degrees, and as soon as we've reached that, we are not even using the power for the aqua tuner. This is only going to be an occasional power sucker, and in the long run it's not going to be very dramatic. In the meantime, on crude oil, we're actually making substantial progress. I mean, just look at all this crude oil. I'm so happy about this. Hopefully this isn't gonna break. Well, let's maybe pick that up. We still have plenty of ethanol that we later can use in order to produce some power. And then, of course, all this natural gas. Look at all that natural gas. This is pure power. I'm kind of interested in maybe sorting out a bunch of these gases in today's episode. We could go ahead and do that. Let me think. I probably want to have a bunch of these natural gas generators running. What did I build these out of? Steel, of course. I do not have enough steel to build some more. We're just gonna leave the space and then add another platform. I then would like to see a bunch of gas reservoirs, but they also have to be built out of steel. It's just 400 steel. We should probably send over some of it. I think it's time to activate the contraption here that we're gonna use to supply materials to the first 2 planetoids. And the first step is going to be to plant all of these reservoirs. Let's do all of them. Right now, I just see that element sensor is a little bit in the way. What was I thinking? Jeez. Yeah, I think we will have to move that over here. This is actually possible. Not that dramatic of a change. But then this is going to allow me to actually build a reservoir on top of this. Let's remove that block though in order to reach everything. No, actually we can't do that. We have to keep that block, so this door is useless. No, actually the door isn't useless. What we have to do is remove this block and then we can actually enter. And if we don't want the duplicants to enter, we just close the door. Okay, that was my intention. Element sensor is back in place. That was for the phosphorite. And did you... can you please get that cable? Good. Now, there's only this switch. What am I using this for? For the door. That's actually perfect. Now we can move the switch down where we had the tile before. And then I will have an easy way to control the door. Alright, hopefully all of the automation here is actually correct. I didn't check it. I should have enabled this contraption when I did the automation, but what you gonna do? Let's set all wrap bolts to 100. Same thing with the wrap bolt chambers, and then I just have to enable all of these guys, and my duplicants don't have to enter here anymore. I also want to make sure they actually get this here really quickly. And hold on, I don't think my auto sweeper is able to reach the receptacle. I might have to rotate it. Yeah, I think that is actually the case because I haven't seen it move. So we have to build this receptacle the other way around, get rid of that, and then quickly pick up everything. I think they already did it, so we can close the door, and now they don't have access to this room anymore. Pretty good, and this conveyor rail sensor is now actually grabbing new phosphorite from our storage. So let's suppress this notification, and then we're gonna be golden. The wrap bolt collection is 176 at the moment. This guy here in the center is collecting 220 per cycle. Pretty darn good, I would say. Liam just made a mess. That usually means we have a problem with clogging up here. Yeah, look at that. Of course. I would say we quickly install a pitcher pump here, so I can bring some cool water over. And is this too much to sweep up already? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Let's maybe get rid of these two tiles here in order to drain some of it. And then maybe just so the bathroom loop works again, we are gonna drain a bunch of these pipes. There, you little dummy. I don't want you to make messes all over the place. That's better. That's better. So it's actually the body temperature here that is the problem, not even that it's submerged. And now somebody is trapped here on ONI. How did you... Jeez. Hassan. Really? Seriously? I mean, come on. You can do better. I know it. At least the cooling here on ONI is slowly but surely kicking in, so I think I'm gonna give him some more stuff to do. Yeah, we definitely want to start to clean things up here. We can pretty much disassemble most of the terrain. Let's maybe count 7 blocks down here. Add another set of ladders so we can take out this as well. And then we just keep going. We want to make our way to these two volcanoes. This one here is the aluminium volcano, and we also have a gold volcano. Both of these are probably gonna be contributing to the same contraption. And additionally, I would like to make use of this carbon dioxide guys here. Maybe we can combine all of these three into one contraption in order to create a symbiosis. Looks like we had our first shots going on. Now this guy contains 99.5 wrap bolts, which is why it doesn't continue shooting. We have to wait for another charge. There is our second shot. Let's see it. Go, go, and fill up. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, now let's send over some emergency supplies. What do we need? Under shipping, I want a conveyor loader, please. Now this is going to be in space, so it's suboptimal. Let's maybe put it below. Yeah, I think I might just give myself a temporary access point here with a bunch of ladders. And we'll make our way up to the conveyor loader. This one here is going to be manual for the time being, and this is also going to be in oxygen. That's fine for a little bit of cooling. Some rails going in, and we should be fine. Is there a way for me to... Let me see. Under shipping... I wonder if we should add a conveyor meter. Yeah, you know, this is not the worst of ideas. So we'll add a conveyor meter first, and then a conveyor loader. From the conveyor loader into the meter, and then over. This way we have much more control, and then we also have access to power right there. This is then gonna allow me to send over a whole bunch of steel to Crew Deal so that we can take care of the gases at the bottom. Said and done, we now have 1,130 kilograms of steel, enough for a couple of pumps. First of all, I would like to get rid of the polluted oxygen and possibly some steam we have going on. I'm actually not even sure. Let's check all the gases. No, we have some chlorine. And of course also carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide I would like to allow in this room, but it should be at the very bottom here. Yeah, let's get started with the easy part. Getting rid of the polluted oxygen. We can do that right there. And we just need access to power. Easy. And then maybe we just do something similar on the other side. Get another gas pump here. Now actually I shouldn't forget, I need to build these out of steel. They are just temporary anyways until we have it figured out. And power for you. Let's make sure the other one is also made out of steel. By the way, the game is running smoothly once again. It was really worth it getting rid of the gases here. And now I want to make sure we don't accumulate too much and actually make use of it in terms of power. We could also have our batteries in here, or maybe just the one battery hooked up to the main system to control the natural gas generators. Do we have enough steel for one more? Yeah, I think we can do that. At least one more. So over at the main base, I want to make sure we reset the amount at least 4 times in order to send over another 800 kilograms of steel. And this should now be fairly easy with that very awesome system. I mean, it is the 3rd iteration of the system. It is supposed to be awesome at this point. There's another shot. There we go. And unfortunately, the game always lags at epic moments. So what you gonna do? Wonderful, pumping out that nasty polluted oxygen. Now I want to make sure we actually don't waste the natural gas. I totally did not think about that. So we might want to first go down, take a little detour and do our little thing before we move up. So let me cut that pipe. This is going to be our future connection. Another ladder there. We then need a gas pipe element sensor as well as a gas vent, though right here we're probably already gonna need the high pressure version. Then all we want left in this room is the natural gas, nothing else. So we don't need a NOT gate. All we have to set this to is natural gas. You know, at this point with this pressure and a very agreeable temperature, I mean, this can go all the way up to 150 degrees, but look at that. Let's just activate the sulfur guys here. It is spewing out 5.9 kilograms of liquid sulfur at 165 degrees for 222 seconds. That doesn't sound too bad. I think we can take it. Let's just open it up. And then it is going to drop the liquid sulfur into the oil. And because we have such a huge amount, this is not even going to do anything. Totally. I don't see a reason why not to start accumulating some sulfur at this point. I also remembered we don't need a gas reservoir here necessarily because the entire room is going to be our reservoir. And we also want a certain amount of natural gas in here in order to control the temperatures better. I was kind of lying when I said we can go to 150 degrees. We can be just below 150 degrees. Otherwise, I'm going to run into a few problems. With the right pump in place and also working, we do the left one as well. Let's see. Yeah, Liam is totally at it. The last cycle he basically just spent by emptying the oil wells. I'm also gonna set up another pump here at the bottom in order to get rid of the chlorine mostly. The carbon dioxide, as mentioned, I don't care about. But we can just bring this all the way up into the sensor, so that's gonna be fairly easy. Let's maybe not use the sensor as an intersection, but the pipe before the sensor. Do I now have enough steel? Yes, indeed. I even sent over a little bit more. We can hook these guys up to the main system. They're gonna be supplying that system. And then on the top, we're gonna have a whole bunch of smart batteries. Right now, we have the materials for 3, but we have the space for 4. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna add one later on again once we disassemble the pumps I just built. Actually, did I build this out of steel too? Yes, so we will be getting some materials back to actually hook up the batteries too. But let's give them some power and also already take care of the automation. I want to hook up these batteries to my power generators so they know when to act. There's something else I eventually would like to do, and that is have another mesh tile layer here exactly where the water stops. So in case we get some water like we have right now, I can just sweep it up. And this is also going to allow me to get rid of a bunch of ladders, since everything is kind of interconnected with each other. Also, do I still need this pump? Not really. Actually, I'm pumping up the oil into the base. I guess I'm gonna keep that for now. But you get the basic gist. We're now getting to the juicy stuff on Crew Deal. Finally, I know I'm taking my sweet time. That's just how I love to play the game. And I have to say, I haven't gotten tired of it, even though I probably already spent 100 or 200 hours into the save game. But yeah, I think at this point I'm gonna thematically wrap up the episode for today. The next time, and I'm actually gonna record that right away, I'm gonna go ahead and move my living module for Liam. I already mentioned that I'm not happy with the first iteration we have going on here. I rather have something similar to ONI, but we're gonna have it on the left side of the planetoid, so it's kind of mirrored. But that is definitely what we're gonna do at the beginning of the next episode, and then maybe we can also take care of something else. Is there something else that is really pressing? I don't know, maybe taking care of the liquids here. Finally, do we have to expand the volcanoes? How hot is this still? 890 degrees. This is still good. Yeah, we don't even have to expand the steel layer too much, but it's gonna be nice to take this apart eventually. Especially I'm looking forward to get rid of this little bit here. There is some neutronium in the way, we can deal with that. But anyways, so thank you so much for watching, have a great time, hopefully you enjoyed the episode, and I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Bye bye.